Well, Gary, the third pre-season outing, had 3-0 defeat against Gisborough Town last week. Plenty of positive take today, less so.
Yeah, we've just said that. It's hard to take and comprehend how we can go from the highs of Hartlepool and how we played there and the intensity in which we played at to then to turn up today and perform as we did today. Of course, it's only pre-season and there's plenty you can improve on and time to improve on, but I've sort of questioned the lads' mentality there in terms of you can go out and you can play those teams from high divisions, but then you've got to put in the same effort and the same intensity and the same physical output when you come to your Gisboroughs. So no, really disappointing day for us. I just thought we were slow today. We were predictable. We found it difficult to break Gisborough down when they sat off us. And no, those are just questions that you sort of have to come up with answers yourself in different ways and how you can break teams down and how you can score goals, and we really struggled at that today.
Yeah, and you can say a lot for Gisborough at a different end of their pre-season schedule to Whitby are, but even still, some of the mistakes that were in there, and like you said, just sort of the lack of urgency perhaps at times, it was really disappointing to see that.
Yeah, we took too many touches when we did have time on the ball. We lacked forward runners. We lacked forward passing, and like I said earlier, it was just all too predictable today. And credit to Gisborough, well-deserved winners on the day. 3 good goals, a questionable first one, but it doesn't matter. They scored two goals after that, and there's plenty of things that we certainly need to improve on. Starting Tuesday.
Yeah, and just dissecting the goal, that first one in particular. Yes, it could maybe an offside, but still, I suppose you're looking at defensively, looking at the line there, and you've got sort of one player then further back. It's really sort of unorganised. It looked like, which again was a different to what we saw last week.
Yeah, I'll have to see it again and see if it was offside. The lads involved in it tell me it was, but without seeing it again, you can't really give an opinion on it. But no, disappointing how easy it was to get down and get a cross in, and I think the lad who scored probably wasn't the only one who scored. There was a couple there who could have tapped it in. So no, disappointing goal to concede.
Yeah, and Whitby at the other end, a couple of sort of sights as you say in that first half, but nothing really. It sort of sums up when it was Sam Collins that probably went closest with a powerful effort from distance, really.
Yeah, we had a couple of half chances, didn't we? Colo from distance, Matty Timon who from distance, Harrow had a couple of half sniffs, and I think Harrow was probably the only outlet for us today who looked like he could cause a problem to Gisborough. And, it's disappointing. We've gone from, like I said earlier, the highs of Hartlepool, where we created numerous chances and showed real intensity in our forward play, to then just hoping on half chances as it was today. And plenty of improvement to take, and you'd rather those results and those performances happen now. I just asked for a bit of consistency today. And asked for consistency in performance in terms of coming from that high of Hartlepool to then coming into today, and unfortunately it wasn't there.
Yeah, and then into the second half, you made a few changes at the break, and then a few more as the half wore on as well. The best chance again, it was sort of Jared Rivers that got it. Looked like he had scored, but other than that, it was really lacking once again in front of the goal. Like I mentioned in the first half.
Yeah, we had a chat at half time, and towards the end of the first half, you could sort of see that we were a little bit a yard or two short, and we tried to correct that at half time. The changes were planned. The changes were planned. Players weren't dragged off or anything like that. We're still in the midst of a pre-season schedule where we're hoping to get lads certain minutes here and there. And, those minutes were planned, but it didn't change too much into that second half. And no, it was a disappointing end to the game.
Yeah, and then the third goal, obviously a brilliant free kick from Eddie Bella there, but just looking at the second goal that Gisborough scored, sort of that Achilles heel, if you like, from last season, just failing to get out and clear and ultimately conceded the back of that.
Yeah, I think it came from a corner, a free kick, didn't it? Hit to the back post, the Pua headed down into a dangerous area, and a few ricochets later, and it's in the back of our net. We just seem to know those last season. Those are the type of goals that we didn't seem to get, and I'm hoping we can eradicate those those goals we concede in that manner as quickly as possible. A few things to iron out definitely, and as we said earlier, it's better that those mistakes are happening now.
Yeah, and then just one thing looking at the team of both sides today as well, just to clear, obviously we saw Tommy Damson playing for Gisborough. That's part of the dual registration deal, that one. What do you feel that can bring to him playing here on a regular basis?
Probably exactly what he showed today. I thought he was brilliant today in the time he was on the pitch. But he's 16 years old. Nathan's asked if he could borrow him, and I think it'll be a great, whether he's here for a month or two, a couple of weeks, whatever he's here for. I think it'll be a great experience for Tommy to be playing regularly, at this level within men's senior football. And the idea on the back of that is he can come back to us and have an influence on our team and our squad.
Yeah, and then just looking ahead to that game on Tuesday night, a trip to Thornaby, again another side that'll be ending their pre-season campaign against us. I'm sure you'll be sort of doubly keen now not to have a repeat of that from Whitby's point of view.
Yeah, we're just looking for reaction now. I think we've just said there, reaction's needed, and recovery and preparation for that will start straight away. So hopefully we can put this behind us as quickly as possible. I'll obviously look at it. The lads will look at it, and we'll see where we went wrong. And like I said, we'll go into another tough game on Tuesday, hoping to get a result.
Thank you.
Thanks.